Very scared about the climate crisis. I think a lot of young people are because they can see the governing systems that are not paying attention to scientists or even young people. And they feel like they have to do something. And that's how we felt. We felt responsible.
England is set to run short of water within 25 years.
That's why we at Lylo developed a portable washing machine for students that reuses filtered shower water to wash clothes.
Hi, my name is Joanna and I'm one of the founders of Lylo.
And I'm Paramveer Bhachu and I am another founder of Lylo.
I very much work on the development of the products and Pav does the amazing branding and marketing that you see. My previous working experience was with another sustainable startup, so it was really great to learn from them.
Having both studied kind of product design engineering at university, we've taken our skills and applied them to real world scenario. And again, linking back to Joanna's kind of experience with sustainability startups, it's kind of helped us to come up with an idea and get it as far as we have with what we have available to ourselves.
The idea for Lylo first appeared when I was a student myself at university accommodations, and I was watching how much water was going down the drain that could be reused. And I was trying to think of ways that students would be incentivized to reuse that water. And it was only when I had to travel really far to the laundrettes to just kind of see broken machines that I realized why we're not kind of reusing that shower water for the laundry system.
So Joanna obviously had the initial idea around the problem and the product, and she kind of reached out to me through development so that we could kind of work together, because we worked together before on another project throughout university, and we knew that we'd be a pretty good fit going forward, both in terms of like product design and handling it as a complete package, including like branding and marketing, that kind of stuff. So it was quite an interesting thing to work on at university, and then actually coming out of university, it's still been a very good thing to kind of work on together.
My family was definitely panicked when I said I was going to go for this, especially my friends, my partner, because in this sort of startup world, it's very hard to kind of pay yourself, especially because you want to put all your funds into the company and into the baby, that you find that you don't have a lot of funds left for yourself.
Most of our friends are designers. They found the design aspect of it quite interesting, but as Joanna said, definitely the world of the startup and kind of entrepreneurship, it can be an uneasy one. So there's a bit like, oh, you got to be careful with how you kind of manage everything to make sure that you don't go bankrupt, basically.
For us, the first steps for starting our prototyping was locking down our assumptions. So we wanted to check that students actually felt comfortable washing their clothes in their shower water. So actually some of our very initial prototypes were just images of water that we actually interviewed students with and checked their kind of comfortability of using it.
We then kind of went into initial modeling and creating the objects before moving into a kind of form that was, a bit different, but still functional and looked quite inviting. And from that, we kind of looped in psychology as well. So the way people kind of viewed water. I think the key thing came down to, was it color, Joe? I think it was color, wasn't it? We made sure that people can actually see the water inside the machine by putting, panels everywhere that you can see what's going on inside the machine, and also by giving everything a kind of a blue hue. It kind of offsets the color, which again makes it look more inviting and kind of overcomes the hurdle in someone's head for, is this water clean?
Also, at the time that we started making Lylo, we were very much in lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I was staying at a friend's house and I was developing it, and we needed to really prototype it in real life, because up until that point we only had CAD models. And so some of the initial prototyping was card and hot glue ordered online just to build the initial kind of scale and have a look at it next to a shower. Very scared about the climate crisis. I think a lot of young people are because they can see the governing systems that are not paying attention to scientists or even young people, and they feel like they have to do something. And that's how we felt. We felt responsible for kind of young people's water usage, especially in their long showers. And that's why we wanted to do something about our problem. And I really wish more of the government took that notice.
I think one thing that we found in researching, well, water in particular, but it is the case with other issues as well, is that not a lot is being said about it, or as much as we'd like. And I think that's also quite a scary thought as well. One quote that we use quite often is that England is set to run short of water within 25 years. And that's such a dramatically short amount of time that it doesn't seem real. And the fact that no one's talking about it, or it's not constantly on the news, is something that I think is quite shocking. So I think absolutely, we're scared, but I think we're kind of also scared that it doesn't appear as if anybody's doing anything or if anybody knows about it. Joanna and I came up with the idea for Lylo at university, and since then we've connected with a wide range of young innovators that we've come across through various programs and competitions and stuff that we've done. And we've been pretty proud of ourselves as kind of young innovators and pioneering tech and design going forward. There's a lot of really cool ideas out there. There's a lot of problems that still need solving. And we're very big advocates for young innovators, and we hope that you're all inspired to go out and kind of tackle these problems and come up with your own kind of world-changing solutions.
Lylo, clean clothes, clean conscience.